Good morning. Today is day 74 of my 90-day transformation. And this morning, I woke up and I didn't get up early again, and I was really frustrated with myself. I'm really good at being self-disciplined and OCD with things, but I can't seem to switch my sleep schedule back to how it was. And that's my first priority for myself, because I know I recognize what's going on and what's triggering some of my mood swings, my energy swings. And yesterday felt good. I was finally starting to think again. I finished a web design project that required me to do change DNS records and a bunch of things I hadn't done before, and I was able to do it. And it requires me to be able to read and understand things. And with the ADHD, when I'm kind of spinning, I have a hard time following instructions. So I feel good. I got a little bit of stuff done, but I'm off track with so many things. But I'm not talking about that today. Today I am going to try to get a workout in. I think I'm feeling physically well enough to do it. I'm going to aim to go to bed at a decent hour, even if I don't sleep. I've been having a hard time sleeping the last week or so, and I suspected last night that I was getting a little hypomanic. I've noticed my mood swing a little, and when I'm manic or hypomanic, I talk a lot, and that can be nerve-wracking to people. So this morning I decided what I really wanted to talk about was compulsive talking and interrupting that people with ADHD do, because it's something I've been criticized and nitpicked and picked on in every relationship I've been in. People will tell me that I don't listen, I talk over people, I interrupt, and they make me feel like I'm just self-absorbed and don't care about anyone but myself. I just want to hear myself talk. And I decided I wanted to make a video about this because compulsive talking, I think, is part of the ADHD. People with ADHD do. I think it's a form of anxiety, and I think interrupting is a problem that ADHD people do, and I think they're poorly understood. People tend to think that we interrupt and talk a lot because we just care about our own ideas and we don't want to hear any of yours. You're stupid. We just want to hear ourselves talk. And I'm making this video because when I started, I actually want to make a better, well-researched article and video, but this is going to be a starting point for me, because something that's been driving me crazy for a while, how people see me as just want to hear myself talk. And I don't think anyone with ADHD is actually like that, and I don't think talkaholics are actually like that. I think compulsive talking is a form of anxiety, and interrupting is a problem with how we think. Secondly, when I did some reading on this, I found a blog post, and it was from the other person's point of view. It was a wife that said she was tired of her husband's interrupting. It was from her perspective of living with someone with ADHD. And the way they see it is that you don't care and you don't listen and you don't try. We've talked about this, and we've talked about this, and we've talked about this. Why do you keep interrupting me? And what they don't get is that we are trying to make these changes, those of us with ADHD that interrupt a lot. But a lot of these interrupting patterns have been going on for me since I was a kid, for 40, 50 years. They're hard to change. And I want to work on some behavior modification in myself. You don't know how many times I've gone into something like, I'm not going to talk a lot today. Today, I'm going to go in and not drive that person crazy. I'm not talking to them today. I'm just going to ignore them. And the silence happens, and I compulsively talk. And I know it's a form of anxiety, and I'm not quite sure how to change that. So I want to make a video when I'm done, like later on when I'm done, when I've had time to research and when I've had time to practice using some of the tools and tips I read about, and then come back and say, hey, this is what I did to help me work on interrupting people and communicating better and listening better. But I'm making this video because I want people that are living with someone who's bipolar or ADHD, who gets hyper, talks a lot, interrupts a lot, to understand that we don't do it because of our self-centered ego. We do it because of long ingrained patterns, that we've been doing these patterns since we were kids, and we weren't trained or taught how to cope with that or how to not interrupt. I also read in the lady's post that she was talking about her husband. She said he came from a large family, and I relate with that. And she came from a small family. So I will tell you what happens in a large family. The parents do not have the resources, time, energy to work with each child individually on behavior things. Now, I won't say there aren't exceptions, the Duggars, but look at their kids. They've had a lot of problems from their parenting style. But big families, if you don't interrupt, you don't get to speak. If you don't learn how to interrupt, you don't get to speak. There's a lot of chaotic communication in large families that you learn from childhood how to do, and nobody teaches you wait your turn. I wasn't taught wait your turn. I wasn't trained to practice not interrupting, and I'm often not even aware I'm doing it. And so I think just coming from a large family or small family gives you very different upbringings. If someone has 2 kids, or 3 even, their parents can say, not your turn, Johnny, don't interrupt, and really train you not to do that. When you have a big family, it's often chaotic. In fact, I'd venture to guess that most large families have some dysfunction in them. So I wanted to talk about it today. It was on my heart. And I had actually a really good meditation today and I was in the classroom and I got some insight on that. But I don't feel like I have to share that. Today I'll share my meditation in another video. Today I really just wanted to connect with people that struggle with interrupting, talking too much, and hear your thoughts. Do you relate with what I'm saying? Do you think I'm right? For people that live with someone that has ADHD and interrupt a lot, do you understand where I'm coming from? That we need a little understanding and patience, and for you to work with us on our communication skills instead of getting so angry with us. We really genuinely don't interrupt you because we care about ourselves more, or we're just have communication and listening skill problems because of our ADHD, and we want you to help us make some of these changes so that we can get along and have better communication. So anyway, that's what I really wanted to talk about today, was compulsive talking and anxiety and interrupting in the ADHD person. And hopefully I can make a better, more useful video once I've researched and found some tools that work for me. So thanks for listening in. I've got a lot to do today. I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have a workout to report in tomorrow's video. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow.